Have you ever felt that no matter how much effort you put in, people simply fail to recognize your value? You carry responsibilities silently. You do far more than anyone notices. You show up, even on the days when you feel completely shattered inside. Yet somehow, someone else receives the praise. Someone else gets the credit. And you're overlooked, underestimated, taken for granted. Maybe you've been told you're not enough. Maybe you've been judged for how slowly you move, where you come from, or the quiet way you carry yourself. Or maybe you're no longer fighting people at all. Maybe you're exhausted from fighting your own self. This story is for anyone who has ever felt invisible, underestimated, or overshadowed. Because sometimes life is not you against the world. Sometimes the real struggle is you against you. In a small, dusty village beneath the harsh, blazing sun lived a donkey named Balo. He wasn't strong like the horses, not graceful like the cows, and certainly not quick like the goats sprinting across the hills. He was plain, ordinary. Every morning before the village even woke, Balo would hear his owner calling, "Come on, Balo, work won't wait." And off he went, carrying heavy sacks, often twice his size, across uneven, rocky paths. He never complained. He never resisted. But every day, people ridiculed him. Look at the donkey, so slow, so weak, so useless. Children would throw small stones at him for amusement. Villagers mocked him whenever he stumbled. And with every comment, every insult, every small cruelty, something in his heart grew heavier than the load he carried. At night, Balo would lie beneath an old tree and whisper to himself, "Maybe they're right. Maybe I really am nothing. Maybe this is all I'll ever be." Yet every morning, he stood up again, not because anyone believed in him, but because he didn't know any other way to live. Then, one afternoon, everything changed. Balo was climbing a narrow mountain trail with a large sack of wheat on his back. The path was slippery, and the weight was heavier than usual. Halfway up, his legs trembled. He misstepped and slipped. The sack burst open, and wheat scattered everywhere, rolling down the slope. From below, villagers erupted in laughter. "Useless creature. He can't do even one thing properly. Good-for-nothing donkey." Their words wounded him far more than the fall itself. Balo stood there shaking, ashamed, staring at the spilled wheat. For the first time, he didn't even try to rise. He simply froze, defeated. His owner, an elderly man with weary eyes, slowly walked toward him. But instead of anger or disappointment, he looked at Balo with something unexpected, compassion. Placing a gentle hand on Balo's head, he whispered, "Balo, do you know why you fall so often?" The donkey didn't move, because everything you carry alone. But remember this, the old man picked up a handful of wheat and let it flow between his fingers. It's not the load that breaks you, it's the voice inside you that says you can't do it. Balo blinked. No one had ever spoken to him with such kindness. The old man continued, "You've spent your whole life trying to prove people wrong. But Balo, your real battle was never against them. The true enemy was always inside you. Your fear versus your courage. Your doubt versus your strength. Your past versus the future you can still create." And for the first time, something shifted within Balo, a spark, a tiny seed of belief. The old man retied the sack, lifted part of the weight himself, and said, "Come on, let's try again." Not to impress them, to show yourself who you truly are when you refuse to quit on you. Balo inhaled deeply. His legs were still trembling, but this time he moved forward, step by step, breath by breath, pain by pain. The villagers waited below, ready to laugh again, but slowly, steadily, with the old man walking beside him, Balo climbed that mountain path. He reached the top, not perfectly, not quickly, but he reached. For the first time, no one mocked him. No one said a word. Because sometimes others fall silent when you quietly prove to yourself what you were capable of all along. That night under the same old tree, Balo didn't whisper defeat. He whispered something new. I am not who they say I am. I am who I choose to become. Days turned into weeks. Balo didn't grow stronger because his body changed. He grew stronger because his mind did. People still underestimated him. Some still laughed. Some still mocked. But Balo no longer heard them the same way. Because once you begin to believe in yourself, the noise of the world fades into the background. One morning, the old man looked at him with a proud smile. You see, Balo, the world didn't change. You did. And that's one of life's greatest truths. Most people think their enemy is the world, people's judgments, circumstances, obstacles. But in reality, your only true opponent is yourself. Your laziness versus your discipline. Your fear versus your bravery. Your excuses versus your dreams. Your past versus your future. No one holds you back more than you hold yourself back. Balo's journey wasn't about proving others wrong. It was about proving himself right. And maybe that's what you need too. Stop fighting the world. Start challenging the weaker version of yourself. Every morning, ask yourself, who will I defeat today? The me who quits or the me who grows? Because in the end, success isn't loud. It isn't flashy. It isn't about applause. Success is quiet. Success is personal. Success is you choosing, again and again, to win against your own limitations. It was never you versus them. It was always you versus you.